Hello, everyone. 3 weeks in a row with midweek games. Finish this weekend with Bayern Munich's game against Freiburg. Welcome to this press conference with our head coach Thomas Tuchel. And please raise your hands for the first questions. Hello, Mr. Tuchel. Let's start with the Jerome Boateng topic. Now, it was said that he will not get a contract. Is that a fact? He was part of the practice team today as well. And how did you like his practice sessions? Well, he behaved well. He practiced well. We were testing him, and that's what we're gonna discuss this afternoon, and then we're gonna announce it. There has not been a decision made yet, even if there are other reports. We will talk this internally with everybody involved, and then we'll make a decision, and then we'll announce it. How does the personal situation look, particularly in central defense? Mata is still out. This takes a little longer than we thought because it's extremely painful, even though Mata can cope with pain a lot, but this doesn't go as quickly as we wanted it and as it was planned. But Dayot and Min-jae are not injured at this time. Another question about Jerome Boateng. In Copenhagen, you said you want to make footballing decisions. Has that changed because of the reactions during the weeks? Is that more a question of morale as well, or is it still only a sporting question? Well, I said that a football club and I, as this responsible person, wishes to make those decisions without prejudices and only on footballing terms, and that's what I said. And it stays this way. We were precise with it, and we will decide today in the afternoon. So I cannot give you anything more. Mr. Tuchel, next week we follow the national team coach, whom you met also when you took him into your coaching team as a young coach. What did you like about him? Well, I was talking about this more often. He was planned as a player in the second team, but then he got injured, unfortunately, and didn't get back from this injury. And the coaching staff at FC Augsburg wasn't really big. We were trying to use everyone available, and then we asked Julian to scout our opponents for us, and his reports were detailed and good. So it was clear that he was passionate about it and really talented, and that's what was confirmed later on. That was during the season, and after the season he decided to go to the Academy of 1860 Munich, which was a good decision for him and the right decision. And at the under 14, under 15 or something like that, or under 17, he continued to learn there, and he made his way. Mr. Tuchel, how did the rest of the team cope with the trip to Copenhagen? And well, it was a long trip. We started on Monday at 10 from Sebener Straße, and we arrived back at Wednesday at 4 p.m. only for 90 minutes of football. And that's definitely something you have to cope with. You can hear it in my voice as well. We had 3 away games in the past 4 games, and that is going to continue in the next 4 games with 3 away games again, which is a load that we have to carry. But other than that, everyone else, apart from Serge and Mata, were part of the practice team today. With Rafa, for example, who didn't have any problems. So we had 18 players in the training session today, which is pretty unusual for us. And that really made fun to practice in a big group. We had one day off in order to get our heads clear We were practicing in Copenhagen in the morning, and so today it was important with the really good conditions to have a good practice and to get a feel for it and to get into the rhythm, because we want to win the last game ahead of this national team break. We know that it's a tough task, and we know that it's difficult to keep the engine running all the time. So yesterday we had a day off, and now we have 2 days to prepare for it, and on Sunday we'll be there. How often are you thinking back to the cup game? And now for the first time, as you were reminding me, but other than that, we played against them after this one at Freiburg, and we know that it's a difficult task, and Freiburg is very flexible. They change quite often in their system, man-to-man or zone defense and all this. And I don't know whether you can prepare for everything or whether we have to focus on ourselves a bit more and be alert on the pitch and be awake in order to be ready and have answers for all possibilities. And maybe the task will change a couple of times, and I'm absolutely convinced that Freiburg will do everything to make life difficult for us. And that's why we will be prepared, and we have to be prepared to do everything to win. Even though Bild and we got the confirmation that there will be no contract for Jerome Boateng, we still believe that you were right when you said that it's not a decision yet. Which influence do you have until the afternoon for this deal? Well, we will make a decision together. It's not just sporting decisions, so we will make a decision all together. We just had a practice, and that's why I've got bad hair today and my hat on, and that's what we're gonna take our time. We're not gonna let anybody push us. Not those reports that are out, because we will make the decision this afternoon. Can I still ask you, what can the player Boateng give to your team? What was the reason for that test? Well, it was the test because he was a long-time player at the club with lots of success, and he wanted to take part in a team practice in order to make the next step for his fitness. That was the basis, and then it was because we had an emergency situation in central defense, when in Münster we didn't have a single central defender in our squad, and that was the basis. And on this basis now, a bit time has passed. We got more knowledge than we had. We make the decision this afternoon. Kingsley Coman against Bochum, he had a good assist, but still you think he's lacking efficiency and lacking a bit of drive in one-on-one situations. And what can you do in order to make him better? Well, he can only give himself things after his hard work, because he is diligent, he really has a good approach and everything. As far as the numbers are concerned, the assists and the goals, he's lacking a bit compared to the others. That's a fact. That's something he knows as well, and that is something that he obviously does not like, and he's working on it, but we know what he's worth. He's been here for a couple of years. He's extremely diligent. He's extremely difficult to defend, and he absolutely likes to work defensively. I don't recall the game now. I think the last home game when we were defending on a diamond in the pitch, he really does a good job there as well. Against Manchester City, he defended against Grealish in a 5 at the back. He does all this without any problems, even though status-wise he is sees himself as a striker, obviously, but he does all those things, and that's why we rate him the way we do, and we really appreciate that. And Kingsley is really playing without an ego. He's annoyed because of all this, but it's only a matter of time before he will reach the numbers that he had in the last couple of years as far as assists and goals are concerned. So the final questions, please. We assume that Sven Ulreich will be in goal. Do you think it will be his last game as the number one before Manuel Neuer will return? And a question about Thomas Müller. Is Freiburg a Thomas Müller game? Every game is a Thomas Müller game. We just have to put him on the pitch. Thomas proved his worth. He is now in a certain age, and I don't want to say he's finished, but he played throughout his career with a lot of work. It's not really economical, and I don't know for how long he's been playing in that position now on the highest level. It's not in the middle of a three at the back where you can play as the last man with a good eye, and you can just do something without moving too much and play on the highest level. He's playing up front. He was always working hard against the ball, pressing with lots of work, and that is still the case. And he also was fouled in a couple of million duels, probably. He's now a certain age. The game always gets quicker. The defenders are quicker, and it changes from man to zone defense to playing long balls from the back to counterattacks, and all this is a very complex situation. We still need him because he has outstanding abilities. He knows everything about football. He anticipates very good. He sees space ahead of everybody else, and he proves it. But still, I think it's completely normal in the phase of his career that he currently is, and what we were talking about, that sometimes it will only be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes he will start. I think it won't be 50 starts a season. That is completely out of the question. I think it's impossible on that level with everything that we talked about. But apart from that and the competition we're in, we're extremely happy to have him. You've seen which positive energy he brings on the pitch when he comes off the bench. He had one shot on goal. He was assisting a goal, and so he's absolutely a candidate to start against Freiburg. And we have been starting with him in games. We have brought him from the bench. He missed the preseason, but he's working extremely diligent on his program and everything. I understand your question, and the chances are good. Let's see. And Manuel Neuer? Well, I don't think the way you just asked me the question, whether it's the last game, I'm saves the way he does, and I'm happy that Manu is doing as well as he does. And the team with the goalkeeping coach and Daniel Perez, they are a really good team, and they are pushing themselves, and you really feel that the goalkeeper on the bench is happy for the goalkeeper to save one off the line, and that's the way I want to have it, and that's the way I knew it, and that's the way it is here. And the situation for Ole cannot be rated high enough because it's not easy. No matter how good you're doing, the question will still be about Manuel Neuer, and it really helps that the two really appreciate each other, so everyone has the back of the other one, and that is a good situation for the things how they are now. And other than that, I'm not gonna make any forecast because it wouldn't be fair to any of our goalkeepers. Mr. Tuchel, you were talking about the many away games. It's not something new for Bayern Munich. Does it distract you that now the national team players travel to the US? Well, I don't have to wait till that moment to be annoyed about it. I cannot really understand working towards a European Championship in Germany to play against Mexico away. I don't know whether anybody can explain it to me the way that I will understand it. I don't know who made the decision, but the decision has been made. And we are definitely used to it, but now we had 3 away games with all the travel that goes with it. The national team players will go away now. They come back with jet lag on Thursday, only to tell you the way it is. They will come back on Thursday. They will fly to Mainz on Friday. They will fly to Istanbul on Monday. They will come back. Then we have a home game, and then we will, as far as I know, an away game in the Cup, away game against Dortmund. So a complete full calendar and everything away and different time zones. There is a difference, and it's definitely on the edge of the bearability, and no coach will tell you any different. And we are only asked when the decisions have been made. Nobody asks us before the decisions are made, because probably they know our opinion and don't want to hear it. So we really don't have to talk about it. The Champions League makes more and more games. The Euro is being enlarged. The World Cup is being enlarged. The players are being held thousands of kilometers apart from each other, and you will not find one coach who will like this, and you will not find one player who says, well, I can finally reach my limit and perform to my best with this schedule, but that's the way it is, and we have to make the best out of it. So we'll finish here. Thank you, Sirmar.